Hey, hello, and welcome back. I am Debbie Peterson of Getting to Clarity, and I'm so glad that you're here today. This is another episode of the Getting to Clarity Show. This is the place where you come to figure out your next clear move in your leadership, in your career, in your business. We're being smart about strategy. And today we are talking about what may be keeping you from stepping up into leadership. So, back in my corporate career, this is what it looked like. I was smart, I was capable, I was full of potential, and I was hesitating. So, is that where you're finding yourself these days? Why hasn't that next level, that next move happened yet? It's easy to think that the answer is more strategy, a better plan. You got to take one more course. But being ready isn't always about action. Sometimes it's noticing what's in the way of action. For me, that was myself. Because often what is blocking us is invisible. It's a pattern we've never questioned. It's a belief that we've inherited without realizing. It's a voice in our head that sounds helpful, but actually what it's trying to do is tell us not yet because it wants to keep us small and safe. And so while the world tells us to just keep pushing through, to rise above, what we really need is permission to pause and reconnect. Because you being readiness isn't about doing more. It's about aligning with who you already are. And so today, this is for the leader who is checking all the boxes, but doesn't still feel aligned. If you are someone who keeps getting tapped for more without actually taking the time to ask what you actually want, then this is for you. You might be the one who is already a leader, but you're buried under busy, burnout, or belief systems that are overdue for a refresh. If that is you, please hear this. There is a simple way to clear the noise and to start moving forward again. It is something I've created. It's called the Clarity Compass, and I want you to use it as a filter, not as a formula. And this is how it goes. I want you to envision a compass in your hand, okay? And on the compass in the north position, we have why. And what this is about is what truly matters to you in the next season. So many people step into leadership because they were promoted there. It's offered, so they take it, and they don't even ask themselves, what kind of leader do I want to be? Or why do I even want to lead? And for some, leadership is just the next step in the ladder. But that's not always the best reason to say yes. Your why in this north position on the compass is what is important to you. It is what motivates you. It is what gives you passion. It is what brings you energy, and it fuels your efforts. So it is what keeps you grounded when things get messy, when things get political, or things, frankly, get exhausting. So when you know your why leadership matters to you, you lead with more intention. You lead with more clarity, and therefore it's more sustainable for you. You have more staying power. You can stay grounded in the hard moments because your purpose is driving you, not just your position. So in the east position on your compass, if you envision that compass in your hand, is what? What is actually being asked of you right now? So think about that. What is being asked of me right now? And this step into maybe another level, does it match what I want? So this is about making your next moves intentional, because too often we get swept up in the shoulds. But if your next move doesn't align with your why, it may not be worth your energy. So get specific. What or whom are you being asked to lead, to influence, to shape? What do you want to say yes to? And what is just a distraction? So take time to consider this and let this be about alignment and not about accumulation of a title. In the south position on your compass is who. Who am I becoming is the question. And who or whom am I being influenced by? We don't lead in isolation. So who surrounds you matters. So the right who are the people who lift you up. They speak truth even when it's hard to hear. They help you to level up in a way that's both bold but sustainable. They don't push you beyond your limits. They remind you of your capacity. So if you feel alone or if you feel unsupported, it's not a reflection of your readiness. It may be a reflection of your environment. Who has earned the right to influence your path? That's a good question. Next on the compass in the west position is how. What is the plan for getting from where you are to where you want to go? This is where your intention turns into action. Your how is the plan. It's the roadmap. It's the process. It's the structure. But it has to be one that reflects who you are, not just what others expect. Your how isn't about hustle. Your how is about honesty. So what will move you forward in a way that's sustainable? It's manageable. It's grounded in your values or what's important to you. This is your opportunity to design a plan for you that stretches you without pulling you off course. So what does a sustainable, manageable, values aligned path forward look like for you? Your how should help you grow without losing your center. And remember, a path isn't always a 5-year plan. Sometimes it's simply knowing what comes next and being willing to keep checking in along the way. Now, finally, in the center of your compass, I want you to imagine that there is now. And this is where you get into action. What is one small move that you can make that reflects what you've learned? That is your own clarity. It's not anybody else's. It is your version of being ready because you are. It's not someone else's version. So this is where intention turns into momentum. Your now is the smallest meaningful step that brings you clarity and it gets you into motion. And within 48 hours is my challenge to you. Now, one powerful tool I want to give you as a bonus is one I share with clients, and that is the power of 3. So the power of 3 is simple. Every day you take 3 small actions that move you closer to your long-term goal. They can be micro movements. It might be ordering a book, scheduling a coffee with a mentor, researching a certification, bookmarking an article, tiny things. And these are things that are consistently done. So 3 clear moves a day might not look like much, but they build real momentum. You'll look at the 3 months and realize that you've created a runway towards exactly what you want. And you don't need to overhaul your whole entire life. You just need to name what's in the way. Once you see it, then you get your power back. And your next step almost always reveals itself. So what is your next clear move? I'm so glad you asked. Ask yourself, what story am I believing that no longer serves me and is preventing me from stepping into my next level of growth? Okay, then choose one place, just one, where you will make decisions as you authentically are instead of with the mask on. And you do that this week, okay, within 48 hours. And if you're still unsure, that's okay. Because being ready, and you already are, it rarely feels like confidence. But if you're paying attention, if you care, if you're curious, then you're closer than you think. And if your team is full of capable people who maybe you're saying they're not ready, but they absolutely are, let's talk. The Readiness Reset Keynote and Readiness Labs are designed to help your leaders reconnect with their own clarity, alignment, and capacity. Because when leaders stop waiting and stop aligning, everything changes from there. So until the next time, I want you to know that you are ready and be good to yourself.